Okay, and the podcast serves as a vessel to bridge the gap between human isolation and connection. We are all going through something. However, what happens when we start sharing our stories? We will be able to connect, heal, and grow. Come with me and my guests on a journey that will uncover their okay and moment. I'm your host, Just Jess. Let's get started. Well, everybody, welcome to Okay and the podcast. I'm so excited for you to be here with us. And this has been a long journey, and I'm so excited for us to just get started. So when we think about Okay and the podcast, and I want to address a few things before we get into the episode, is truly like, what is this show about? And this show is about bridging the gap between human isolation and connection. What I found in my X amount of years of living, it's really understanding that people have all different types of shit that they go through. And so for you to be able to share that, be able to help somebody else, maybe they're going through something similar, it really, really is good to have that tribe, to have that platform where people can come in and just talk to us about it. So the why behind the show was oftentimes a lot of my friends come to me or I go to them and we just talk about life, whether it's guys, work, financials, trying to launch a business, trying to buy property, like all these different things that we're going through. Yet sometimes we have other friends that are going through similar things, but they're isolated and they don't really want to talk about it. Or maybe it's something that happened to them and now it's starting to come up because they feel more comfortable, they feel more competent, they feel more confident with talking about the information. So that's the what and the why behind the show. Now, going forward, we're going to release the shows every Tuesday. And each show would have a guest on it. So they're going to be talking about their journey. We'll ask a few questions. We'll be able to get some responses from y'all. You can email us at okandthepodcast@gmail.com so that way we can get that information and get those questions up and running. But before we do any type of episode where someone's going to tell me about their okay and moment, I just want to address a few things. First, we've been in quarantine for I don't know how long, okay? And I'm starting to lose I'm starting to lose it. There was pictures for me from Cuba and Barcelona, and I had to cancel Greece, and now I had to cancel Toronto. So between Throwback Thursday and me getting emails saying that your flight has been canceled and emails that have reminded me that, oh, you're supposed to be in Mykonos or Athens has really, really, pissed me off a little bit, but that's okay. What really grinds my gears, and it happened yesterday, y'all, was Teddy Riley versus Babyface on Instagram Live. Now, I know what you're thinking, man, Jess, we were all there with you. It was disappointed. You were disappointed, all of that stuff. But let me tell you something. I had my hope set up, okay? I had my hope set up so high that dinner was already cooked. Sorry, just hit the mic. Dinner was already cooked, okay? Chores were done, all right? Hair was about to be co-washed in deep condition so I can really watch this one episode, this 1 hour of live battle, okay? Let's just set the scene, all right? You get on, you hear people doing mic checks and background checks, and it's the Babyface is over there with his shades on in his studio to really just play the songs that he has, and that's what Teddy Riley was supposed to do. Teddy Riley put on a whole production. Teddy Riley said, you know what, I'm going to turn this into a full-blown concert, and that's just not what the battle was about. You're supposed to put on your headphones, play the song, and call it a day. The comments were going insane. I mean, to the point where Tamar Braxton was going off because she actually got dressed up, put on a full outfit, full face, because they wanted to make sure they were promoting it to be almost a date night. So make sure that you get dressed up and all that stuff. And basically it was a waste. I didn't know that Babyface was 60 some odd years old, first and foremost. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that he had coronavirus. So that's why they pushed it back, I guess, from the previous Saturday that was supposed to happen, the previous Sunday that was supposed to happen. So, cause he wasn't well enough to do it. So needless to say, Teddy Riley had, people, it was like the classic, it's not you, it's me, but it's really me because I don't understand the relationship. And just doing the testing, he had the Ring doorbell going off. Somebody was trying to call him on the iPhone. Like, it was just one of those moments where it will go down in history because you're watching this live. And I saw some posts where people were saying, you know, just the way that Teddy was trying to set it up, the platform, the app, Instagram is just not built for that. So hopefully in the near future, if it were to be something like that as that production level, they're able to accommodate that. But, you know, I grew up listening to all 90s R&B. Like, my parents are both 50, so I know there's a song or two, whether it was Teddy Riley or Babyface. I know I was made to one of those songs. I definitely asked my mom that question. She still hasn't responded to me. So, Mom, if you could just let me know what song created me, that would be great. I just want that information. That would be awesome. And outside of Teddy Riley versus Babyface, the things that have been happening during this, you know, pandemic have been, you know, sad, yes, tragic, of course. I think where my mind goes into this positive mindset and just, you know, keeping it with the show, it's okay. And so we're going through a pandemic. Like, what are you doing about that? And there's 3 areas that I've tried to really improve in. So with it's, you know, my relationship with God, whether it's, you know, my family and my friends, and then just overall me. So I guess you could say 4 areas, but really understanding, like, how do I connect with God? How do I, you know, just get into the Bible? How do I go to Bible study virtually? You know, whether it's Zoom or whether it's just picking up the phone and calling somebody, like, how do I really tap into those things? When it comes to my family and friends, I'm normally calling them. We're always meeting up. We're, you know, we're always doing something together. So it's not an extra effort to talk to somebody on the phone, but I'm making a conscious effort to make sure I call my grandparents, make sure I call my nieces and my nephews, making sure that I'm able to see my goddaughter or making sure I'm able to see my godson on camera on a regular basis. But just these times are so important to really have that human connection, because there are people that are isolated right now inside their homes, that don't want to go out, that don't want to interact with you know, just the outside world, because we just don't know about this situation. When we think of work and how we have transformed this work from home. If you were able to work from home, if you have a job that allows you to work from home, what does your environment look like? So there's just all these different pieces that can distract you, but those are the pieces that I really focus on. So just my connection with God, family and friends, and myself. So what can I do for me? So there's some days where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to binge watch Tiger King. And damn it, I did it. And I was not disappointed at all whatsoever. Like, I was not disappointed. And then apparently Hulu just released the behind the scene footage of Tiger King. And I guess Netflix added another episode as well. So it could be, you know, watching Netflix. It could be to where I just turn off all TV. I mean, the first couple of weeks when all this stuff started to happen, I think it was like March 13th, when I really started paying attention to the news, and then trying to go out to the stores and, you know, trying to get like damn toilet paper. I mean, toilet paper, Lysol, paper towels, just stuff that I would keep in my house on a regular basis. But now you just don't know. It's that art of fear. You just don't know if you're going to have enough. So people are just, you know, hoarding. I'm glad that a lot of stores have been able to put a hold on that, or say, you know, you can't return it. So I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that a lot of companies are able to help the employees, whether it's, you know, providing PPE, providing the plexiglass, making sure that they're a part of a bonus program because of the additional monies that are coming in. I'm really proud of the different companies that I shop with that are doing that. So shout out to Trader Joe's, shout out to Target. Thank you for taking care of your people. That's a huge win from a consumer standpoint. And I think the other things, a lot of people have been saying, like, oh my God, if you don't get a new skill out of this, like you lack time or you lack discipline. I'm like, honestly, if you want to sit around and, you know, like eat and more eat, that's fine. Okay, that's your prerogative. If you want to go and take crazy at-home workouts and discover Afro beats and Zumba and, you know, do 20-minute hit workouts and do that, that's your prerogative. Like, do that. If you just want to sit in silence and just enjoy the peace of not hearing traffic or helicopters or sirens or whatever your atmosphere is, sit there and do that. Oftentimes we don't get this time, and this is a gift of time. So we really, truly have to make sure that we're able to just enjoy this time, as much time as possible, because I know they're talking about like different parts of the country opening up. And what we're seeing overseas, Wuhan, China had, I think, 76 days of lockdown, and then they were able to open back up. So again, the experts are trying. Our our president is just, I don't even know what to say about that. I can't even. Listen to the scientists, people. Okay, listen to the scientists. Listen to the scientists. All right, listen to the experts that have dealt with the things that we're dealing with now. So just make sure that if you need a break, take a break. If you just want to binge. Like, do what's best for you. All right. So I really want us to listen to these guests that are going to be on the podcast. There's a couple cool things that we're going to do. So first, you'll hear the guests, and then they're going to come up with 5 songs. And that 5 songs is going to be a playlist. So after you listen to the podcast, it's the wind down session. So it's 5 songs, a playlist, and that's going to be found on okandthepodcast.com, because I do have a website. Ooh, love that. And then afterwards, there are going to be some episodes where I invite, 10 or 15 people to have basically an after session with the guests and myself. So if there's any follow-up questions, if something, hit you, if something impacted you, if it triggered you, we'll be able to have that conversation as well. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the journey. And if you have any questions, if you want to be on the show, please email me, okandthepodcast@gmail.com, and you'll be able to interact with myself. Again, your host, Just Jess. Make sure that you're able to send me your information, send me your story, and then we can get you on the podcast as well. Until then, please take care of yourselves, stay healthy, stay at home as best as possible, and I look forward to seeing y'all turn up at brunch in 2021.